What is up, guys? It is Robert of Movies with Me, and welcome to Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones movie review. So, if you didn't know, in anticipation for The Last Jedi in December, I'm probably doing like one or two Star Wars movies every month leading up to The Last Jedi, and right now, we already did Episode 1. We're now at Episode 2. This movie was directed by George Lucas, and it stars people like the last movie, except for a few different characters. Now you got Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker, no longer as a little boy. Now Hayden Christensen takes place as an adult. There won't be like spoilers in this review. There'll just probably be like some plot points here and there, but nothing too major, just to let you know. So right off the bat with this movie, my main complaint is just like the first one. For some reason, there's a lot of very strange dialogue that I don't believe people would talk like this. I really don't think so. Everyone talks so monotone a lot of the time. There are some scenes that they don't, and they did improve upon that. But a lot of the times, there are still a lot of scenes where it's just them sitting down talking and walking around and talking in the monotone voices. All these like scenes, and it drags on, and it makes the movie very long. It's 2 hours and 22 minutes or something like that. And that's all right. Like, long movies are fine. You know, I love movies that are long but really good. So it doesn't feel that long, you know? But this movie does feel like 2 hours and 22 minutes. And it just, a lot of the time, sometimes it drags. And a huge reason is because these characters, I still think, don't feel like characters. They don't feel like people. They just seem like they are reading a script, and that's it. The story for this one is actually more interesting than The Phantom Menace. It's just a lot of the time the dialogue are not placed in like situations. They're just placed in the middle of the movie, and so they keep talking, and that's how they progress, almost like the story. Not like they're walking through the story, they're talking through the story, and I don't like that. Especially when you got stuff like Force Awakens, feels like it's always moving, or like some of the other the originals, they feel like they're always moving. There's something going on. The prequels like to stand still and talk, and I don't really care for that. However, there are a few scenes that I did really enjoy. Specifically, the one where Obi-Wan, Ewan McGregor, still he's very good in this movie. What he does is he goes to this one like diner, and he meets up with an old friend, and he talks to an old friend. And I like that scene a lot, because you want to know why? Well, it seems that he's a human. Like, he talks to this guy like he really is an old friend. He's smiling, he's laughing to him. But when it gets serious, he does get serious. But it still feels like he's a human. Like it sounds like it'd be something he would be saying to this creature who is very cool looking. They designed him very well. And it's not a long scene, but I like that diner scene. And I wish they did more stuff like that, which they do right after they go to like almost like a library sort of thing. And that was pretty cool. Then they also go, and this is where the movie essentially begins in a way. Not really, but like basically he goes to where they're actually making all of these clones, Attack of the Clones, you know. And they're making one giant clone army, a massive clone army. I like that scene a lot because when you actually see where all these cloned people are living, it's interesting. What's really cool about this scene is this is the first time Obi-Wan and Jango Fett actually meet. And you see them kind of talk to each other, and you could tell they've got their eyes on each other. They're looking at each other like, something's not right about you. Same thing with Jango Fett looking at Obi-Wan like, I think he's on to me. You know, so it's definitely interesting because Jango Fett does certain things that alludes Obi-Wan to being like to question him, because he's like, wait a minute, you know this person? So it's interesting. I do like that dialogue between them. The action scenes in this movie are better than The Phantom Menace. I do like the chase scene in the beginning. That was pretty cool. It was fun. I will say that again, just like Phantom Menace, the CG isn't very good anymore. They do look almost cartoony. They don't look realistic. They look like something that would be in Pixar now. You know, not really in a realistic Star Wars movie. And, for the time, is it fine? I guess. I don't know. I don't remember. I didn't see it in the movie theaters. So if you did, let me know if that was fascinating to you back then. I don't know. I'm guessing it was. In this movie, you're also introduced to Count Dooku, which is played by Christopher Lee. Rest in peace. He plays a different type of character, and I think we all know, he's the bad guy. And so a lot of the Jedis don't see that coming. But, I mean, we do. Now, you see, I'm talking all about Obi-Wan, Count Dooku. The Jedi still aren't doing anything. They're still sitting on their ass. They don't want to do anything, which makes no sense. Like, you guys are Jedi. Can you get up and start to move? And they do at the end of this movie. Finally, they do something. But, like, they didn't do anything for all of Phantom Menace, and they didn't do for most of all of Attack of the Clones. But I haven't talked about Anakin, which is the star of the prequels, right? And he is in this movie, a big portion of it, obviously. Anakin does start to tread into the dark side a bit. Yoda still feels for Anakin, like, I feel him. Oh, well, that doesn't sound right, but you get what I'm saying. He senses that Anakin is in a lot of pain because something does happen to Anakin. Anakin does lose someone very special in his life. And when that happens, that moment is really intense. And I like that moment a lot. Anakin then shows his anger towards this village. And it's super intense, that scene. It's really great. And I do like that a lot. And you could see just him progressing because him and Padme are getting closer. But you're not supposed to. You're a Jedi. You can't fuck my dude. What are you doing? But, Anakin does, my dude. He wants to be with Natalie Portman. Who doesn't, So yeah, in this movie, the relationship between Anakin and Padme does get more romantic. And I like it a lot. I think those are some of the best scenes. Yes, you do got the lines about sand. It's stupid, makes no sense, it's dumb. But there are scenes between Anakin and Padme when they're just kind of sitting down talking. I didn't mind that. I thought I enjoyed that. But again, it is kind of more just sitting down and talking. And that's, again, my biggest problem with this movie. And even, I will say that at the end, there's another action, big epic action scene. Now Yoda steps in and he finally does something. But before they fight, to me it was really dumb. Like, they're using, like, the Force to bring down objects. And then Yoda just keeps, like, tossing it. And so he would do it again. Count Dooku, Yoda does an object. Count Dooku throws an object. Yoda takes the object, throws it. And it's so, I don't know, to me it's just so dumb. Because it looks so slow. It's so slow. The action is so slow. Like, the actual lightsaber battles, they were good. They were fine. I still don't think they should be as acrobatic as they need to be. But that's how it is, especially for episode 3. I know that it is like that for a lot. But it's whatever. But it's definitely better than the Force when they grab a little bit of the the roof and then slowly gets stopped and then slowly gets put to the side. It's just so weird. Like, they did that like 3-4 times in a row and then they fight. And it was it was so pointless. I know they're trying to say, oh, well, you still have a lot to learn, Count Dooku. It's like, okay, sure. But who cares? I don't know. That didn't really, they didn't do that very good to me. It was kind of weird. Overall, it is better than The Phantom Menace, but not by a lot. I think it's still too long. I think there's a lot of dialogue that could have been integrated with, like, situations or something. There's just a lot of still monotone voices talking, a lot of walking around doing nothing. It's just still pretty slow. And that's not very good. You don't want that in a Star Wars movie. You want it to keep flowing. Well, you don't want that in any movie. You want the movie to keep going, And it's not like I need action all the time. Like, even the action scenes were fine to good, but at the end, the final battle, you go from a huge tonal shift many times where it'd be a serious fight between many people, and then C-3PO being like, oh my goodness, the Jedi, oh no. It's like, okay, C-3PO, you need to shut the fuck up, man. We're trying to see a battle here, and you keep interrupting with these damn jokes. It was like the Jar Jar Binks battle in Phantom Menace, where he would keep going, oh my goodness, oh no, and keep like throwing and hitting stuff, and it was like, stop it, dude. I like you, C-3PO. Just stop. Overall, I'm gonna give Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones a 6.5 out of 10. It's a very okay movie. I don't think it's necessarily good, but I don't think it's bad. It's okay, and it's definitely better than Phantom Menace, but just not by a lot. Dialogue still monotone, and action is good to all right, and it's long. It's kind of tedious at points, but yeah, guys. What do you guys think about Star Wars Episode 2? Do you really love it? Do you kind of not like it? What do you guys think about it? I'll see you guys next time. For Episode 3, I'll probably review that in another 2-3 weeks. So yeah, guys. See you guys next time. Bye.